Hello, how are you doing? Welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another video in the series planning for Christmas, getting organised, getting everything done, getting those lists, checking everything off. I'm really glad that you have joined me again. If it's your first time and you've just come across this video, we are on number 5, week 5 already. So weeks 1 to 4 will be in the series. You can jump onto the channel. I'll link them all below in the description so you can go back and have a look at those. But yeah, here we are, week 5 already. And that's exactly why we need to get organised, because the weeks are rolling in. We're well and truly into November now, and I'm watching on social media, various other YouTube channels that I watch, and I know that a lot of you are in the USA, and there's a lot of trees up already, I have to say. Now here in the UK, yeah, that would be seen as quite mad to put your Christmas tree up in November. Growing up, we would probably put our tree up the weekend before Christmas. If Christmas fell maybe on a Monday or a Tuesday, you might get to put it up that sort of 10 days before, but definitely no sooner than that. I remember we had neighbours who used to put their tree up on the 1st of December. We all thought they were mad. Well, times have changed, and yes, it probably is the American influence that comes over the pond. And certainly now, I mean, I'll put my tree up probably the first week in December. But yeah, if you put a tree up in November here in the UK, apart from if you're a shop or, you know, town centres have their Christmas decorations up, that's different. But in a home, if you put your tree up in November, you are seen as a little bit cuckoo. So that aside, let's get on with the number 1 task on our list for this week. First on our task list this week is to buy all your wrapping supplies. So that's your rolls of paper, your ribbons, your gift tags, your tissue paper, your gift bags, your bottle bags for gifting bottles of wine and spirits and that type of thing. Get them all this week. You can split it over this week and next week if you prefer, but you need to get those as soon as possible. And there's a couple of reasons for that, really. The first one is quite simply that the supplies will run out. You might see paper that you love, but they've got no matching tags left, or you can't get the ribbon the colour that you want to go with it, because they do get sold out pretty quickly. So that's really the first reason. The second reason is, we said in previous videos, that you really do want to start wrapping your gifts as soon as you buy them, just to avoid that last minute stress where nothing's wrapped and you suddenly find it's going to take you hours and you just don't have hours to dedicate to that task the week before Christmas. So that is the other reason, really just for a practical reason. You can't wrap them unless you've got all the supplies in place. So gift wrapping supplies, get them this week. The next task on our list this week is to, if at all possible, set up a dedicated wrapping station. Now, I know this might be difficult if you have a smaller property and you just, you're sitting there thinking, Lynn, I don't have an inch of space in this house to dedicate to a wrapping station. In that case, just make sure that all your stuff is corralled together. Maybe buy a tote box or a couple of big gift bags. We've all got the ones left over from previous years that are too bashed up to use, and they'd probably just be going in the recycling. So you can, keep those to corral all your paper and ribbons and tags and everything together. Scissors, tape, everything that you need, just so that when you do find yourself with a little bit of time to wrap something, or you come home from the shops and you've bought a couple of gifts, you can just grab everything and get it done. But if you do have the space, if you've got the luxury of having, the corner of a study or the corner of a room that, you're not going in every day, that you can set it up, then that is really ideal, because you can have all your ribbons laid out. You can use a bin, to keep all your rolls of paper together. Everything is just to hand. And really what we're trying to do here is just simplify the task. It's much less daunting to think, I need to go and wrap that now. If you think, oh, where's the scissors? Oh, where's the paper? Oh, I think I bought some tags and they're in a bag somewhere. If you've got everything together and you just have to go to the table, wrap the gift, take just a few minutes, then it's just about making it easier for yourself. So next task on our list this week, if at all possible, set up a dedicated wrapping station. Next this week, we are going to move to the gift category itself. How are you getting on with your gift buying? Are you managing to tick a few off your list? Look, it's really difficult. Only you know how many gifts you need to buy. Some people have to buy a handful. Some people have 100 gifts to buy when they count them all up, for little ones and big families and all the rest of it. So really, only you can know and decide how quickly you are going to move through that gift list. But your task this week really is to, if you've already asked people, and you should have, because we talked about this in a previous video, if you've asked people what they would like for Christmas, get out and get the things that they've told you that they would like. Let's call this the low-hanging fruit. It's the easy ones to just pick away at and get them done and ticked off your list. They've told you what they want, and as long as you're happy to get that for them, unless it's something, maybe an item that you think, oh, that sort of thing is definitely going to be in the Black Friday sales, I'm going to hang off and get that then. But other than that, if they're kind of smaller items or things that you think the price probably isn't going to change very much, then just get them done, get them knocked off your list, and then that's another huge tick, and you can feel as if you are making progress. So get the low-hanging fruit gifts bought this week and get those ones ticked off your list. Next on our list this week is to get ready for all those Black Friday deals. It's really strange. In the UK, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, obviously, but we get the Black Friday deals. Again, this is something else that's crossed the pond. We're not complaining, we get all the bargains. I guess there's so many retailers that are in both the UK and the USA and elsewhere in Europe that they extend the deals out with the USA. But yeah, we get the Black Friday deals, and sometimes, as I'm sure it is the same in the USA, the deals get further and further out. They extend throughout the whole month, and then you've got Cyber Monday, the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, which is reputed to be the biggest online shopping day of the year. So lots and lots of deals coming out, and you won't know if it's a deal unless you've got a good idea of what the price normally is, or you're watching, it's a bit of a gamble. You're kind of watching the price of something that you want to buy, and there's a deal early November, and you're like, oh, do I get it now? Do I wait and see if there's a better deal? You need to be on top of all those. Try and have a look at your list. Think about the things that you think are more than likely going to be in a deal over that sort of week leading up to the 24th of November, I think is the Friday of that weekend. That kind of week and over that weekend are probably when the biggest deals are going to be. So have a look at your list, see if there's things that you are expecting to be able to get a deal on that weekend, and make sure that you know now what the price is now so that you can see a deal when you spot it. Another task on the list this week is just get prepared ahead. Know your prices and get ready for those deals coming up this month. Next task on our list this week is still in the gift category and kind of on the back of the last one, talking about all the Black Friday deals, and it's almost the opposite of that, and that is if there is something that you are going to be ordering online. I'm thinking specifically here about maybe personalised gifts, that kind of thing. You need to get them ordered now. If you're not waiting for a Black Friday deal, get them ordered now, because inevitably what happens over that weekend is that it clogs the whole system up. All orders get delayed. You suddenly go from things, taking just a few days to arrive in the post to potentially things taking, a couple of weeks maybe, while companies are, getting through all their back orders. If you are not waiting for a deal, if it's maybe a personalised item from a smaller retailer, which, they generally don't have as huge sales and things, so there's it's up to you to weigh up. Are you better to order these things ahead of time, and then you know that it's arrived before the big kind of crush? You're safe in the knowledge that you've got those ones ordered before that big frenzy, or are you going to wait and see if you can get a deal? But there will be things on your list that you're not going to get a deal on. Just get in there in this week and get those ones ordered and checked off your list. Again, sticking with the gift category, and this is kind of the last task for this week in that category, and that is this week you're going to buy all the, for want of a better term, the generic gifts. You might have somebody that you know absolutely loves beautiful candles, and so each year you tend to get them a gorgeous scented candle. That's the sort of thing that you can get this week. Or maybe you always go to visit your neighbours and you take them a lovely bottle of wine and a nice box of chocolates. You can get that this week. Or maybe you like to get a couple of emergency gifts. It's always a good idea that time that you get caught out where somebody comes and brings you something and you don't have anything to reciprocate with. These are the things that you can get this week. It's all about making progress. So looking at the things that you can do and you can buy while you're waiting for others to make up their mind or get back to you with their gift list, or maybe you're waiting on a Black Friday deal for them. But with these slightly more generic things, you can probably just get them now. And again, it's another tick on your list. It makes you feel good because you're making progress through that list and you've got another couple of things tucked away, another couple of tasks done. Again, in that sort of low-hanging fruit category, let's get the generic gifts bought this week, and then that's another tick on your list. Next task on our list this week is in the food and drink category. And it's just something that I do, and I just thought it's quite a good tip to pass on. And that is, about now, start saving any kind of foil containers or maybe takeout containers, that type of thing. I'm thinking about for leftovers and for giving people leftovers away with them. You know what it's like where you want to give the family leftovers and you end up, giving them away in kind of dishes and proper plasticware, Tupperware, that type of thing, containers, and then you end up, you're scrambling around waiting for them to give you them back or whatever. What I quite often do is a lot of the kind of foil containers that you get some food in, or some of the takeout containers, is each time I get one, starting now, I just rinse them out, keep them to one side, build up a little stock so that round about Christmas time, when you've got people over for dinner or the big Christmas meal and you want to give them leftovers away with them, you've got a ready stash of these containers, especially the foil ones. I'll just do those with another bit of kind of a sheet of foil crunched over the top of them and give them away, especially my kind of adult kids. That it means I'm not scrambling trying to get containers and dishes and things back from them. So this week, start to be mindful. If any food comes through your kitchen that comes in these kind of containers, rinse them out and just keep building up a stash. I mean, this is something that you can do all year round, but particularly at Christmas where there's more food on the go, you're more likely to need containers there. So start saving containers with a view to giving away leftovers and things in them. Next task on our list this week is in the Christmas card category, and it's kind of in two parts. So the first part is that you are going to take a look at the posting dates, last posting date for airmail cards, last posting date, for your local cards. You are going to set the deadline diary when you anticipate posting those cards. Now, it might be that for the airmail ones, that might involve a trip to the post office. So you need to make sure that you've got a day that is clear to do that. So make sure that you've got that in the diary well in advance of that last posting date. And then the second part of the task is, in a previous video, we talked about splitting up your Christmas cards into groups to get them written. So you might have your close friends and family, you might have neighbours, you might have work colleagues, you might have a wider circle of friends, that type of thing. So you're going to take each of those groups and make a note in your planner or in your diary which week you are going to write which group of cards, and make sure that you're going to make the deadline that you've set yourself for posting them. So things like, maybe neighbours could wait till the end because they maybe don't need to be posted. You're just going to pop them through the door. So you need to schedule all of that so that each week from now, you just need to look at your planner and think, right, this is the week that I need to write my work colleagues cards, or this is the week that I'm going to write my friends cards. So make sure it's scheduled to meet the deadline. Yeah. Another tick on your list. Next on the list this week is in the decorations category, and it's to think about your Christmas tree. If you've got an artificial Christmas tree, does it need replaced this year? And this is kind of a personal one for me because I am toying with the idea of replacing my Christmas tree this year. I thought about it last year and I just didn't get round to it, so I just put up the one that I had, but I'm seriously thinking about it this year, and I did actually kind of float it with my husband this week. I said, I'm thinking about getting a new Christmas tree just to see what the reaction was, because the reality is, they're so expensive. I know the Balsam Hill ones, we can get Balsam Hill here in the UK. I know they're big in the USA, but wow, it's like £600, £700. So what's that? $800+ for a Christmas tree. I just don't think I can justify that. But there are a lot of other ones around that I'm looking at. So I'm kind of passing this on to you too. I know that last year I just waited too long and then I would find one and it was out of stock. So if you're with me in this is the week we need to be thinking about it. This is the week we need to be ordering it. I know that it is one of those things that will probably come up in the Black Friday deals. And actually the best time to buy a Christmas tree, the best deal you'll get is probably on the 27th of December or the 28th of December, but I missed the boat. So stocks will be low at that time anyway. So if you're thinking about a new Christmas tree this year and you're not going to gamble and do it in the Black Friday sales, I just don't know what to do. I don't think I'm prepared to take that gamble because, surprise, surprise, I'm very particular about my Christmas tree. If I'm going to do it, and this will be you too hopefully, if you're going to make such a huge purchase and spend a lot of money, you probably don't want to compromise. You probably want to get the one that you love, that you've got your eye on. If that is you, you need to order it this week. I'm probably talking to myself here. It needs to be ordered this week while they've still got stocks before the Black Friday frenzy and before everybody else starts thinking about their decorations. I mean, this is the point of, going through this kind of series, is you're trying to be ahead of the game. You're trying to be ahead of everybody else who suddenly realizes, oh, I need a Christmas tree. If it's you and me, let's get the Christmas tree ordered this week. So sticking with decorations, the next task on our list this week is to make sure that we've got all the Christmas lights that we need. Now, ordinarily, you would say get all your lights out, make sure that they're working, and yeah, you should definitely do that. I think that's less of a problem these days. Lights have definitely improved, and there's a lot less of the getting them all out and they suddenly don't work. Usually what happens is you realise the year before you'll have a set fail on you and you think, right, these ones need replaced. And it's not the first time that I have actually put a note in my diary for the following year, put it in for September or something and said, right, this year you need new lights. But we're beyond that now, so but it is just time to think about your Christmas lights. One of the big things that makes such a difference in the whole look, your whole decor look, to get it to look cohesive, to look really, really pulled together, particularly with white lights, less so with coloured, but with the white lights, is to make sure that you've got the same colour of lights throughout. And you'll know, you just need to go into any of the, home decor stores or the B&Q, Home Depot, to know when you see them all up there how many different colours of white there is. You've got your bright white, blue white, warm white. Even in warm white there can be 3 or 4 different shades of warm white. It makes a big, big difference if you can have them all exactly the same colour. And they vary from year to year, so unfortunately you can't say get one set this year and then, add to it next year. So all I'm really saying is make sure your lights are working. If you need to get new lights, you need to do it now, and think about the whole look. Is it time maybe to replace all of your lights? Maybe you've had some for a while that might end up going next year. It is a splurge. And yes, again, maybe it is something that, would be a Black Friday deal and worth waiting for. But if at all possible, get all of your lights the same brand, the same colour, to give you that cohesive look throughout your home interior. But task for this week, consider your Christmas lights. Do you need to buy some more? Get them if you do. Consider getting lots of sets, all the same colour. last task for this week is in the health and self-care category, and it's just really a reminder about all your appointments and make sure that they are in place. So I'm thinking about hair appointments, nail appointments. Are you going to an event? Maybe it's a black tie do and you're thinking about getting your makeup done. Make sure that all of these appointments are in the diary, because all of, the hairdressers, the nail techs, the beauticians, they'll all be, it's busy season for them. So you're not going to be able to just phone up at the last minute and get an appointment. Check your diary, check your events, what have you got on. Just make sure that you're not disappointed and that you've got all of those relevant appointments made and in the diary. I'll be popping a link in the description box below to this week's printable, and thank you so much for all your lovely comments and for sending me photos of your printables that you've printed off and put in your planner, and taking the time to leave comments on these videos. It really is lovely, and along with subscribing to the channel, it really does help to get the videos out to more people. YouTube algorithm spots that people are subscribing and making comments and just automatically puts the video out to more people, and that is really useful to me to help the channel grow and allows me to continue doing what I'm doing and continue to produce this type of content. So thank you so much to those who have subscribed and taken the time to leave comments on the videos. It really is appreciated. And so that's it for this week. I hope you are managing to get some things ticked off your list. We're another week in. I can't believe it. It'll be middle of November by the time the next video comes out. But yeah, just enjoy the process, enjoy what you're doing, feel smug that you're getting things ticked off your list, because that's what it's all about, just getting prepared. And yeah, less stress, more joy. Think about the prize at the end of it when you can have a much more relaxed Christmas season this year. So that's it for this week, and I will see you in the next one.